The NBA is making more money than ever, but if you've watched a game recently, something feels off. This isn't about player salaries or who's the GOAT or whether Paul George should retire and start podcasting full-time. It's not about the CBA or load management or even politics. It's about why the NBA experience, as a fan, feels broken. You fire up League Pass, your favorite team's blacked out, you finally get the game, and your favorite player gets ejected for clapping. No rivalries, no drama, no tension, just numbers on a spreadsheet and podcasts after every loss. And the worst part? The league doesn't seem to care, but we do. And that's exactly why this video exists. Because the NBA isn't dead, but it sure as hell feels like it's dying. Let's start with what used to make the NBA electric. Emotion, trash talk, stare downs, big plays, big reactions. Now, you so much as breathe near a ref the wrong way. Boom, technical foul. Watch this. Giannis dunks on Al Horford. He turns and stares, just stares. Whistle. Jokic claps in frustration. Whistle. Tatum hangs on the rim for 1 extra second. Whistle. Technical. And it's not just the stars. The refs are tossing players like they're allergic to confrontation. This isn't basketball anymore. This is HR training in sneakers. And look, I get it. Nobody wants another Malice in the Palace. But when the league kills every spark of tension, it kills the thing that makes sports addictive. Drama. The UFC gets it. Conor McGregor could insult your entire family tree and still headline a pay-per-view. But in the NBA, a death stare is too aggressive. A chest pound is too emotional.
Morant. And John's got to watch his reaction. He already is sitting on 1 technical foul.
The refs don't just control the game. They're stealing the spotlight. And fans, they've had enough. The NBA used to thrive on tension, on rivalries that felt like war. You didn't just watch Celtics versus Lakers. You felt the weight of 2 cities colliding. You watched Bird and Magic with blood in their eyes. The 90s? Pure chaos. Jordan versus the Bad Boys. Fights. Flagrant fouls. Elbows to the ribs. Every game felt like it mattered. Now, it's just handshakes, jersey swaps, and brotherhood. Kevin Durant's been on more super teams than some players have playoff wins. He left OKC to join the Warriors, left the Warriors for Brooklyn, then left Brooklyn before the Nets even knew what happened. You can't build a rivalry when the villain switches sides every season. LeBron's no different. He's left more teams than fans can count, and now he's reportedly open to teaming up with Steph Curry, the guy he battled in 4 straight finals. What happened to pride? What happened to unfinished business? And it's not just the stars. The league kills anything with a pulse. Jalen Green dunks on Cade Cunningham, stares him down. That's the moment we wait for. Whistle. Technical foul, and just like that, gone. Meanwhile, the UFC lets their fighters talk trash, shove each other, call each other frauds, and it works. Those moments go viral. They build hype. They sell the fight before the fight even happens. In the NBA, the only beef we get is in post-game interviews, and even then someone's issuing an apology 30 minutes later. There's no edge, no fire, no bad blood. And without that tension, you're just watching cardio drills with a scoreboard. Because talent is great, but tension? Tension is what makes fans care. Imagine this. You've had a long day. You just want to kick back, grab a drink, and watch your favorite team play. You open League Pass, and boom, blacked out. Doesn't matter that you paid. Doesn't matter that it's a home game. You live in the wrong zip code, you lose. And it gets worse. Because even if you pay for cable or TNT or ESPN, some games still won't show up. You'll be sitting there like, wait, am I watching basketball or solving a damn Rubik's Cube? One Reddit post said it best. I have League Pass and TNT, but I can't watch Bucks versus Warriors because of a regional blackout. What the f*** am I supposed to do? Another fan. I live in Vegas and can't watch the Lakers. If I move 10 minutes east now, I can't watch any California teams. The league wants to grow its global audience. But in America, people are pirating streams just to watch their own squad. How does that make sense? You've got fans ready to pay. But the product is harder to access than an underground fight club. The NBA is trying to be a tech-forward league. But here's a reality check. If watching your sport is harder than watching a leaked Netflix show, you've got a problem. People don't want to fight with 5 apps and 3 subscriptions just to see a Tuesday night game. Because here's the truth. If it's easier to watch something else, why eventually we do. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. A lot of today's NBA stars don't actually care about basketball. And fans? We feel it. This league used to be filled with guys who'd kill for a win. Now it's filled with guys who drop 8 points, lose by 20, and drop a podcast the next morning. Let's talk about Paul George. In just the first 10 games of the 2024-25 season, he recorded more podcast episodes than games played. The man had a new guest every week. Jamal Crawford, Reggie Jackson, whatever. all while putting up mid-tier numbers and missing time with general soreness. But it's not just PG. Zion Williamson, and is still one of the most hyped prospects in modern history, has now played fewer games than Victor Wembanyama, despite being in the league 4 years longer. And when he's asked about staying in shape, his answer was, "I'll be real, it's hard, man. It's hard to say no. Brother, you're a professional athlete, not a DoorDash VIP. And don't even get me started on Ben Simmons." By May 2025, he's missed 2 straight postseasons, barely touched the floor this year, and still hasn't developed a jumper. In training videos, he's bricking mid-range shots like it's 2019 all over again. This man was once called the next LeBron. Now he's the league's most expensive courtside seat, and fans are noticing. After PG dropped 2 points in a loss, then released another podcast 24 hours later, one Sixers fan posted, "I just woke up, saw a new PG podcast, and remembered he went 1 for 7 last night. I'm done." Then there's guys like Bradley Beal, who played fewer than 40 games this season with the Suns, collected his $50 million, and dipped out during the play-in push. Or Kyrie, who's managed to stay more consistent in Dallas lately, but whose off-court drama over the years had fans and teams treating him like a liability, not an asset. Look, this isn't a shot at injuries. We get it. Players need to protect their bodies. But when it's every year, every star, every team, it starts to feel like the passion's gone. Because here's what the fans are seeing. Players resting during big games, stars avoiding rivalries, more IG photo shoots than post-game interviews, more fashion tunnel clips than actual effort on defense. In the 2025 All-Star Game, not a single player attempted a block until the 4th quarter. Ratings tanked. Again, why? Because fans don't want a runway show, they want a basketball game. And honestly, if the players treat it like it doesn't matter, the fans eventually will too. Meanwhile, the UFC has guys like Max Holloway fighting until they literally collapse. When your opponent is bleeding and still swinging, that's passion. It's not about toughness, it's about mentality. The NBA's biggest stars are being paid like kings, but some of them are playing like part-timers. When Steph Curry started pulling up from 30 feet and hitting shots like they were free throws, it was magic. It changed the game. But now, every team wants to be the Warriors, without the skill, without the soul, and without Steph. The NBA has officially entered the spreadsheet era. Just look at the 2025 Celtics. Best record in the league, but every game feels like a math problem. Layup, 3. Layup, 3. Rinse. Repeat. They shoot 45 threes a night and make just enough to stay on top. But ask the fans, a lot of them are tuning out. What made Curry special was that it felt like art. What the league is doing now feels like Excel with sneakers. The Mavericks do it, the Rockets do it, even the Pistons are chucking threes like they're a budget G League version of Golden State. And it's not just about style, it's about engagement. Ask any fan what they miss most about old school basketball. The answer? Physicality, post-play, strategy, identity. Today's NBA, everyone plays the same. Just plug in the numbers and let the algorithm run. The NBA tried to turn basketball into a numbers game. And in doing so, they forgot why we fell in love with the game in the first place. Now here's the twist in all of this. While the NBA tries to control every variable, the UFC figured out the formula. Let chaos cook. They don't manufacture moments. They let them happen. Sean Strickland wasn't supposed to be a star. He talked trash, fought hard, said wild things on the mic, and the fans ate it up.
Ni hao.
What was that? Wait, what am I saying? What am I saying?
Hello.
Meow. I feel like I should already start. How do I say work harder, child?
Max Holloway knocks a man out at the buzzer, screams to the heavens, then collapses in exhaustion. That's not a promo, that's a memory. And that's exactly what the NBA is missing. Look, I still love the NBA. I still watch the games. I still check the scores. I still get goosebumps when a no-name rookie drops 40 on a superstar. But I'd be lying if I said it still feels the same. The drama? Gone. The rivalries? Dead. The passion? Somewhere between a podcast and a fashion tunnel. The NBA isn't dying because the players aren't talented. It's dying because somewhere along the way, it stopped being personal. And if the league doesn't figure that out soon, we're going to keep watching. But we're not going to feel anything. And that's the real death of a sport. Not when people stop buying tickets, but when they stop caring.